You know, there's something about this stage of life that can feel a little lonely sometimes. The kids are grown, maybe you retired, and those casual friendships from work or the neighborhood aren't as easy to come by anymore. And here's the thing, it's not just about having someone to chat with. Real, meaningful friendships keep us sharp, lift our spirits, and even help us stay healthier longer. But here's the good news. Making new friends after 65 isn't just possible. It can actually be really fun and rewarding. Maybe you're thinking, easier said than done. I get it. Starting fresh with friendships at this age might feel awkward or even a little intimidating. But what if I told you there are simple, natural ways to connect with people who share your interests and values? Today, we're going to talk about 4 easy ways to build those meaningful connections. No pressure, no awkward small talk, just genuine opportunities to meet wonderful people. Let's start with something you might not have considered, your local senior center. Now, I know what you're thinking. Senior centers? Aren't those just for bingo and early bird dinners? But today's senior centers are vibrant hubs full of activities you'd never expect. From painting classes and book clubs to tech workshops and even dance lessons, there's something for everyone. The beauty of these places is that everyone there is in the same boat, looking for connection, trying something new, and open to meeting people. You don't have to walk in knowing a soul. Just show up, pick an activity that interests you, and let the conversation flow naturally. Before you know it, you might find yourself with a coffee date or even a new walking buddy. Another wonderful way to meet people, volunteering. Think about it. When you volunteer, you're automatically surrounded by people who care about the same things you do. Whether it's helping at the local library, mentoring kids, or working at an animal shelter, giving your time creates instant common ground. And here's the secret no one tells you. Volunteering isn't just about helping others, though that's a beautiful bonus. It's also about filling your own cup. There's a special kind of bond that forms when you're working side by side with someone toward a shared goal. Plus, it gives you something to talk about beyond the usual weather chat. You might just leave with more than just the satisfaction of helping. You could leave with a new friend. Now, I want you to think about something. What's a hobby or interest you've always wanted to explore but never had the time for? Maybe it's gardening, photography, or even learning to play an instrument. Here's the thing. Pursuing that interest could lead you straight to your next great friendship. We'll dive deeper into how hobbies can open doors to connection, along with one more surprisingly simple way to meet kindred spirits. Because friendship after 65 isn't about quantity. It's about finding those few special people who make life brighter. And the best part? They're out there looking for someone just like you. You know, one of the most beautiful things about getting older is that we finally have time to rediscover what brings us joy. And what better way to do that than by sharing it with others? That brings me to our 3rd way to make meaningful connections, joining a hobby group or taking a class. Think back to what you loved when you were younger, or something you've always wanted to try. Maybe it's woodworking, watercolor painting, or even bird watching. Whatever it is, there's likely a group of people nearby who share that passion. Local community colleges often offer non-credit classes specifically designed for seniors, everything from pottery to poetry writing. And here's why this works so well for making friends. When you're learning something new together, there's an instant camaraderie. You're all beginners in the same boat, laughing at your mistakes and celebrating small victories together. Before you know it, those weekly classes become something you look forward to not just for the activity, but for the people. And don't worry about being good enough. These groups aren't about perfection. They're about enjoyment and connection. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Technology as a friendship tool. I know what you're thinking. I'm too old for all that social media nonsense. But hear me out. Platforms like Facebook aren't just for teenagers. There are countless groups specifically for seniors in your area. Neighborhood groups, book clubs, even groups for people who love to cook or garden. These online spaces can be wonderful stepping stones to real-life friendships. You might start by commenting on someone's post about their rose garden, and next thing you know, you're swapping cuttings and meeting for coffee. And here's a little secret. Many communities have senior meetup groups that organize everything from museum outings to casual lunches. These are perfect because everyone's there for the same reason, to connect. The first time might feel a little awkward, but remember, every friend you have now was once a stranger. What makes these meetups special is that they take the pressure off. You're not responsible for keeping the conversation going all by yourself. The activity does that for you. Whether the group tour a botanical garden or a relaxed knitting circle, shared experiences naturally lead to connections. Now, I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself 6 months from now, looking back on today as the day you decided to try one of these ideas. Maybe you'll have a new friend to call when you find a great book or someone to share your latest baking experiment with. The truth is, the hardest part is often just showing up that first time. But once you do, you might be amazed at how quickly connections can form when we give them a little space to grow. And we're not done yet. There's one more incredibly powerful way to build friendships that often gets overlooked. It's something that comes naturally to us at this stage of life, and it might just be the most rewarding way of all to connect with others. But we'll save that for next time, because it deserves its own special attention. For now, think about which of these ideas resonates with you most. Is it a creative class, the online group, or maybe something else entirely? Wherever you feel that little spark of interest, that's probably your best place to start. You know, there's one more way to build friendships that's so natural, we often overlook it. Reconnecting with old acquaintances. Think about all the people who crossed your path over the years. Former co-workers, neighbors from your old street, even friends from your children's school days. These aren't strangers. They're people with whom you already share history, and that's a powerful foundation for friendship. Here's how to make it work. Start small. Maybe send a message saying, I was just thinking about the old days when we, or remember that time we? Shared memories create instant warmth. You might be surprised how many people would love to hear from you. Many are likely feeling the same need for connection that you are. Before you know it, that casual remember when message could turn into regular lunches or phone calls. Now, let's talk about something important, the art of turning acquaintances into friends. You might meet someone nice at your book club or exercise class, but how do you take that to the next level? Here's the secret. Be the one to make the first move. Invite them for coffee after class. Ask if they'd like to carpool next time. Share something personal. Maybe a book you loved or a story about your family. Friendship is like a garden. It needs a little watering to grow. Remember, making friends our age isn't about collecting hundreds of contacts. It's about finding those few special people who really get you, the kind of friends where silence feels comfortable, where you can be completely yourself. Those connections are worth their weight in gold. So let's recap our 4 paths to friendship. 1. Discovering your local senior center's hidden gems. 2. Finding kindred spirits through volunteering. 3. Bonding over shared hobbies and classes. 4. Rekindling old connections. Here's what I want you to take away. Every friendship you have today began with someone brave enough to say hello first. That could be you this week. Pick one idea that feels right, maybe calling an old colleague or signing up for that watercolor class, and take that first step. I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Have you tried any of these ways to make friends? What worked for you? Your experience could inspire someone else to reach out. And if you found this helpful, do hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on living your best life after 65. Remember this, the world is full of potential friends waiting to meet someone exactly like you. Here's to new connections, shared laughter, and the joy of discovering that making friends after 65 isn't just possible. It can be one of life's greatest adventures. Now go out there and start your next chapter. Your future friends are waiting.